So you guys have three different binomials written at the top. So we're going to start with the x minus 5 to the second power. Now that second power, we need two binomials because it says that it's raised to the second power. So anytime we have a 2 like that, we're going to write the binomial out 2 times. So we're going to write it as x minus 5 times x minus 5. And then all of what we did yesterday is going to apply here. So we're just going to use the distributive property. First thing we're going to do x times x, which gives me x to the second power. X times negative 5 gives me negative 5x. Negative 5 times x gives me another negative 5x. And negative 5 times negative 5 gives me a positive 25. So we're not really doing anything different from what we did yesterday. We just have to do one more step to set it up into two binomials. So here, since I have two like terms in the middle, I'm going to add them together. So I'll bring down my x squared. Negative 5 plus negative 5 equals negative 10x. And then bring down my positive 25. So my answer, x to the second power minus 10x plus 25. Already have our two binomials. So we can go ahead and start using the distributive property. So we're going to do x times x. We always start with the first terms. That gives me x to the second power because I have two of them. Then I do x times the second number. So negative 7 with an x. And then I do the same thing for 7. 7 times x is a positive 7x. 7 times the next term, negative 7, equals negative 49. So just like all of the examples we did yesterday, the first and the last terms stay the same. It's the middle two terms that are like terms that can be combined together. So negative 7 plus 7 is 0x. So plus 0x, and since it cancels out and it's 0, we can just forget about the 0, and we have a binomial as our answer this time. X to the second power minus 49. So here's another one where it's a binomial to the second power. So that second power just tells us that we write it out twice. So we have 3x plus 8 times 3x plus 8. So we just write the same thing twice. And then we do the same method. We start with the first term, 3x, and multiply it by the first term in the other set. So 3x times 3x is 9x to the second power. 3x times 8, 3 times 8 is 24, keep the x. And then I jump to the next term, and I distribute it. 8 times 3x is another 24x. And 8 times 8 is 64. So the first and the last terms come down. So 9x squared, and then plus something, plus 64. And then I'm going to combine my middle terms since they both have the same variable with the same exponent. 24 plus 24 is 48. Very good. So 9x to the second power plus 48x plus 64. And that's our final expression, which is a trinomial. So the next example is a binomial times a trinomial. So we're going to look at it like it was in the warm-up. So we're going to put our 2x minus 3 along the side with 2 of the boxes, and then we're going to put our trinomial along the top because it has 3 boxes. So 3x squared minus 4x plus 7 So I'm going to show you both ways. We're going to do the box method, get our answer, and then we'll check our answer using the distributive property. So 3 times 2 is 6, and I have 1 x here and 2 x's here for a total of 3 x's total. Then I'm doing 2x times negative 4x. So 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. I have x to the second power because there's 2 of them. And last I do 2x times 7. 2 times 7 is 14. And we only have 1 x in that term. So far I have 6x to the third power, which I know that's going to be by itself, minus 8x to the second power plus 14. Now we're going to drop down to the second row. Negative 3 times 3x to the second power. So that's negative 9x to the second power. Then we have negative 3 times negative 4x. It'll give me a positive 12x. And negative 3 times 7, which is negative 21. And we know that negative 21 is going to drop down because it has no like terms. So these two terms are like terms because they both have an x to the second power. So negative 8 plus negative 9 is negative 17x to the second power. And then I have this set, 14x plus 12x. They both have an x with no exponent. So 14 plus 12 is 26, so plus 26x. So your final expression should be 6x to the third minus 17x to the second plus 26x minus 21. And we're going to do the same problem using the distributive property. So we're going to start with this 2x. 2x times 3x is 6x to the third power. 2x times negative 4x is negative 8x to the second power. So far we're good. 2x times 7 is positive 14x. So notice that everything in the first row, we get the same answer when we distribute the 2 to everything in the second set of parentheses. Now we're going to distribute negative 3 times 3x to the second power. That's negative 9x to the second power. Then we have negative 3 times negative 4x. That's a positive 12x. And then my final term, negative 3 times 7 is a negative 21. So when I combine my terms, I bring down my 6x to the third power. Negative 8 minus 9 gives me negative 17x to the second power. 14 plus 12 is 26x. And then we bring down the minus 21 by itself. And we see that we get the same answer. So it really shouldn't matter when you guys are working today. If you like the box method, use the box method. If you don't need to use the box method, you will get the same answer if you don't use the box method. So we have x minus 5 times x squared plus 9x minus 2. So go ahead and write this down on your paper. So for this one, we're just going to use the distributive property because we get the same answer either way. So x times x squared. We have a total of 3 x's there. X times 9x. We have 9x to the second power because there's 2 x's there. And then x times negative 2, which is just negative 2x because there's only 1x. Now we do the same thing with the negative 5. So we do negative 5 times x squared. We get negative 5x squared. And notice how I'm lining up the like terms that we can combine together. Negative 5 times 9x is negative 45x. And negative 5 times negative 2 is a positive 10. So from here, we just combine our like terms. The x to the third power doesn't have a like term, so he just comes down the way he is. 9x squared minus 5x squared is positive 4x squared. Negative 2 plus negative 45 is a negative 47x. And the 10 doesn't have a like term, so we just bring it down. So x to the third power plus 4x to the second power minus 47x plus 10.